meeting, and I co-chair this with Minister Teta Antonio. So thank you for all of you who have traveled here so far, and it shows the strength of our partnership. It is clear. Thank you also to the chairperson of African Union Commission, Mahmoud Yusuf, for joining us in this session, and to Belgium to host this wonderful dinner that we had last night. Before we begin, I have a few logistical announcements to make to ensure that our meeting runs smoothly today. So this opening session will be streamed, as well as the closing session. Given how many of us are gathered here today, it is especially important that we keep to this schedule, and as we have a very, very full agenda. I therefore kindly ask everyone to respect the allotted speaking time. Then we will start with thematic discussions on peace, security and governance, and after that we will move down to a family photo all together, and then come back for the multilateralism, and then we have lunch. So in the afternoon we will have thematic discussions on prosperity and people, migration and mobility, followed by the closing session and adoption of the joint communiqué. As European Union, we are profoundly invested in this partnership, and this is a joint effort, a Team Europe effort. So I will chair the beginning of the session, and I can tell you that there was a real competition for all the European countries who wanted to share, different sessions as well. So that's why we have shared these with member states and commissioners, and you will then see many of us here. And of course, I will see many of you bilaterally during the day to discuss specific issues. So now that was about the logistics, and now go to the meeting. So, Excellencies, I'm really happy that you're here. We gather here to celebrate the strength of our relationship. Africa and Europe are each other's twin continent. We are linked by geography, just 14 kilometers between Spain and Morocco, as well as shared history. We are also partners of choice. Europe and Africa have shared interests, but also face ongoing security and governance challenges. These challenges are immense, but so are our joint. We should acknowledge build on and strengthen our strategical partnership at national, regional and multilateral levels. Africa is a vibrant continent with the youngest and fastest growing population on Earth, expected to double by 2050. With immense entrepreneurial potential, abundant natural resources and critical raw materials needed for the green and digital transitions. The European Union is the world's largest trading bloc and Africa's main investor and largest collective donor by far, with €239 billion of foreign direct investment in 2023 on the African continent. The EU has come a long way in creating its single market and has digital and green know-how to share. Our mutual engagement offers the unique opportunity to bring our economies and our people even closer together for the benefit of both continents. Africa and Europe need each other to deliver on their geopolitical priorities and potential. Second, our mutual partnership delivers. Since the last EU-African Union summit held in 2022, we have together made progress in all the pillars of our joint vision, from prosperity to peace and security, from migration to mobility and multilateralism. More than ever, In this increasingly uncertain and contested world, the EU is and will remain reliable, attentive, credible, predictable and solid partner for Africa. Just to give you an example, the EU support to African partners under the European Peace Facility totals over €1 billion to date. Under our common security and defense policy, we have 11 ongoing civilian and military missions and operations currently deployed in Africa, with some 2,000 personnel working with African counterparts. Looking ahead, the year 2025 is a milestone for EU-African Union relations. We celebrate the 25th anniversary of our first summit, which was held in Cairo in 2000. We have come a long way together during these 25 years. The relations between our institutions, countries and population have deepened. Our peoples are more connected. The EU is committed to deepening this partnership even further in the years to come. Today's Ministerial is another step to that direction, an important milestone towards a successful African Union-EU summit later this year. We must start working on key priorities for the summit and beyond. Investments, critical raw materials, artificial intelligence, blue economy, regional integration and mobility. And finally, let us commit to a strong EU-African Union partnership to shape the global agenda for the better and protect the international rules-based order. Since our last summit, the world has changed dramatically, and these changes are affecting us all. The war is back in Europe. Instability is growing in some parts of Africa and in the Middle East. We see rising disinformation and foreign interference in our domestic affairs, unprecedented instability in the world markets, and threats to multilateralism and rules-based order. Our joint vision for 2030, which aims to build a more peaceful, prosperous and sustainable joint future, defending and improving multilateralism, is now more important than ever. As neighbouring continents, we share not only a joint vision, but also a common future. Together, we represent 40% of the UN votes. We have a shared responsibility to make our voices heard. We can be an important force in support of multilateralism, as demonstrated by the negotiations for the Pact for the Future last year. We have advocated with you for the African Union's membership in G20, which materialized this year. I thank the Angolan presidency and the chairperson of the African Union Commission for the excellent collaboration on this important journey. So, congratulations, dear Mahmoud. Congratulations once more for your appointment as chairperson of the African Union Commission. I wish you and your team all the success and look forward to our continued close cooperation. So now I give the floor to Minister Tete Antonio. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And good morning to everyone. Your Excellencies, Ministers, heads of delegations of the member states of the European Union and the African Union, Your Excellency Kaya Kallas, so as I was saying, Your Excellencies, heads of delegations of the member states of the African Union and the European Union, Your Excellency Kaya Kallas, High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and Vice President of the Commission. Thank you very much for what you've said, Your Excellency, and thank you as well to His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Chair of the African Union Commission, Sama Malika, Haddadi, Vice President of the African Union, Excellencies and Commissioners of the African Union and the European Union, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. First and foremost, I want to start out by saying hello on behalf of the African Union to all delegations gathered here today. I am very pleased to be here at this very important meeting at the third European Union African Union Ministerial being held here in the beautiful city of Brussels, Belgium, the political capital of Europe. We are here today to reaffirm the partnership, this long-term partnership between Africa and Europe. This is a partnership based on shared history, mutual respect, and a common desire for a more sustainable future for our two continents. I want to thank the European Commission for the role that you've played working alongside the African Union. In particular, as regards the organization of this ministerial meeting. A lot of work went into this. A lot of work went into drawing up the documents. We've had excellent work in drafting those documents that were, and in drafting the draft communique that we are going to be approving here today. Thank you to Belgium, our hosts, for your hospitality. And thank you to all delegations of the African Union who were here. I know that we had hard work going into logistics of this. I think all of this really reflects our desire to strengthen our partnership. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 25 years since the start of our partnership. And during those 25 years, 6 summits and other events have taken place at high level. Our partnership has evolved, and there's now a more dynamic relationship. We've seen tangible progress made in terms of sustainable development, trade and investment facilitation, and capacity building for young people and women to ensure that our societies are more sustainable and resilient. Significant progress has also been made in terms of the response to the pandemics and in building sustainable infrastructure. The declaration and implementation of Global Gateway has also led the way to greater collaboration between us in terms of resources and priority projects, which will work on behalf of the African Union's Agenda 2063. This meeting is taking place at a critical point in time. We are facing complex challenges around the world, and we are committed to strengthening our partnership in order to turn that into tangible results and benefits for the people on both continents. There are challenges regarding climate change, economic transformation, healthcare, peace and security, migration. And these things aren't limited by geographical borders. And for our continent, it's essential that we take on these challenges together. We have to come up with innovative solutions to deal with those challenges. Excellencies, the African continent is a continent pushed forward by its young population, by innovative ideas, and by the accelerated implementation of the Agenda 2063. And this will lead to inclusive and green growth. The European Union is also a strong partner that comes to us with a lot of knowledge and expertise and is committed to working in a multilateral framework. This means that we have a good platform to work on development, to promote trade and investment, and to promote economic resilience in the African countries. The implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area is essential to help us boost our economies in Africa. And to make sure that our partnership does lead to the dividends that we both hope for, that both sides hope for, we are committed to accelerating, working on that, as well as fighting climate change, focusing on the fair, gradual transition to renewable energy sources, and guaranteeing all of these points. In addition, the COVID pandemic showed us how much we need to strengthen and reinforce our healthcare system infrastructure. The pandemic has been overcome, but we must not forget that we have to remain prepared. We have to remain able to guarantee access to vaccines and to produce vaccines as well on the African continent. So we take advantage of this occasion to thank everyone for the historic advances we have made. We have the agreement on the preparation and response to pandemics, in which the WHO passed after years of negotiations. And Africa was represented at the highest level by João Manuel González Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola, and representing the African Union. We have to look at other innovative processes as well to maintain the dynamic in Africa. We have to create societies and environments that are friendly to investments and that generate jobs for young people and women. And that all plays into our development. The debate going on currently about the financial system has to continue. This is something we have to look at internationally to ensure that the international financial system is a good one, that it is reactive, and that it supports our needs in the African continent. In the G20, and the summit that will take place in Africa, that will also be an important platform in which to hold that debate. Peace and security are a significant challenge for governments in Africa as well as in Europe, and there are armed conflicts that would undermine our goals of stability and development. It is therefore important that we work together to come to innovative solutions to those conflicts, to build peace and to deal with the deep-rooted causes of those conflicts, which also leads to migration of so many young people. We need to create structures that lead to peace and security in our regions. And we need to come up with a way to do this through dialogue and cooperation. Support from the European Union to the African Union's idea of reforming the UN is important here. And we feel that that reform is necessary. Excellencies, to conclude, I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to encourage all of us to have constructive discussions here so that we can actually move forward on the commitments that we've made. We want to achieve tangible results. And we're looking forward to today's meeting so that we can listen to one another and hear what our needs are, and so that both sides can ensure that our partnership will continue stronger and more beneficial than ever. I am convinced that this meeting will be essential to strengthen that partnership, and that it will contribute to making Africa and the European Union more, to making them both stronger. Strengthening the relationship between the two continents will lead to the results that we want. And with that, I wish all of us good discussions today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for these introductory words. I think with this we can now move to the first thematic session, which is on peace, security and governance. I think this is extremely important topic, both for Europe as well as Africa.